right. Well, that all just happened. How we feel, people? How we feeling, people? Postgame showtime. Cuse Sports Talk exclusive. Brian Higgins with you. So, here's the plan here. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. No radio today because Monday Night Football's on. So we're just chilling. We're gonna keep this loose and relaxed. We're getting you in the chat on the Twitch. We're getting you in the chat on the YouTube. We've got the phone lines available. Phone lines are open. 315-437-7644. We're still doing the calls. Give a call. Let us know what's going on. Get your thoughts on that one. 315-437-7644. We're going to hang out here. We're going to chat for a little bit. We're going to get you Red Autrey's full post-game press conference live. We'll hang out a little bit we're keeping it loose tonight. We're going to see how it all goes here. Chris Bell, the game-winning defensive play, not normally on the bingo card. That did happen, Steve. Jair Davis was the player of the game for sure with 22 points and 12 rebounds on just 9 official field goal attempts. J.J. Starling seems to be like the one guy that's got a little burst that can get to the basket. He ends up with 14. Bell ends up with 20 in the game. Oh, I hit that on the nose. Bell ends up on 20 in the game. Who else in double figures? Donnie Freeman, a double-double, just 3 of 12 shooting, but 10 points, 11 rebounds. Eddie Lampkin goes 10 points in the game, and a smattering for others. That was not the most inspiring opening salvo we've ever seen from Syracuse basketball. Just the first game. They do win. Kind of feels very similar to last year in a way. Think back to those early, what's going on here, comeback kind of games that we saw last year. But they did win those games, and they do win here, 86-82. Lemoyne, full credit to Lemoyne. They shot 49%. I thought the Dolphins played very well. They got outside and out-physicaled a little bit. But, we got some worries. I'd say there's some worries here for Syracuse basketball coming out of that one. It was not the most inspiring season opener that you could have put out there for Syracuse basketball, and there are legit concerns. Who's getting to the basket on this team besides Starling? Who we're told there's a lot of shooters, but the team went 4 of 22 from 3. Chris Bell's the only one that made more than 1. We know he can shoot. And, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. That was not the most inspiring opener. I get it. You're playing the team from across town. There's a lot of stuff that goes into games like that. That Lemoyne, I do think, is legitimately a decent team, but it should. And Syracuse did end up putting up 86 points, but it took on 43% shooting. He got to the line a ton. I'll say this. Jair Davis is a good basketball player. I like Jair. And I think tonight, out of everybody, the guy who we saw who he most is as a player tonight is Jair Davis. But much as with Jaquan Carlos and these other lower to upper level transfers here, what Jair does is impressive, but he's what, 6'7"? Is that style of game going to work when we get to, big boy basketball, ACC basketball, later on down the line? Defense was very, very ragged. Defense was very, very ragged on that one. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? We got you in the chat. We're filling up the chat here on QSportsTalk.com. Get in the chat as well on YouTube. Hey, I got eyes on you guys as well. Feel free to hop in the chat and let it fly. Yeah, I think we all miss Johnny Flynn, Devin. We all miss Johnny Flynn. Minnesota Dan, not optimistic right now. It was not a game that promoted a lot of optimism, I don't think, here. And Ryan Mullen without Jair Davis, they lose that game without Jair Davis. They lose that game without Jair Davis. That's 100%. And Chris Bell, how about Chris Bell? Yeah, it's Lemoyne. And I have been the first person to bash him for his lack of rebounding, and still he did not. What do you have? 1 rebound today? 1 rebound? But he seems to know how to dribble at least a little bit now. All right, so that's good. And the defensive play he made to seal the game. All right, so I think we're seeing a little bit more stuff out of Chris Bell, the offensive end this year. So that's a good sign. But, not the most inspiring opening effort we've ever seen. Still, obviously, what's the rotation going to be? Like, Chapel Moore played just 2 minutes. Surprised to see Mastorovich only played 5 minutes. It felt like he was on the court more than that in the first half. That's what the stats has him down for. Lucas Taylor apparently played 12 minutes. It was a very unmemorable 12 minutes for Lucas today. He didn't really get anything going. Was 0 for 3 on his 3 points attempt. So we're trying to get a sense of this team. We're trying to figure out what's going on. I've been trying to keep a track too here, just a little bit, of what's going on with random collection of former Syracuse types here on this opening night. Jerry's in overtime right now. Sienna's leading Brown 72-71. Last 10 seconds of OT. Peter Carey started in that game, fouled out with 3 points. Apparently, Benny Williams and Dior Johnson for UCF just beat Texas A&M, so there's that. Quadir Copeland did not start for McNeese State and lost to San Diego State today. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Other Cuse types out there. But, not the most awe-inspiring start here tonight. What was Justin Taylor up to tonight? I got the James Madison box score up as well. What do we got here? Let's continue our browsing. Justin Taylor finished with two points tonight for JMU and a 10-point win over Ohio. But it's a win, and I don't think Lemoyne stinks. Let's all take a breath, people. We'll get through this together. Get into the chat. We'll get Reds. We'll get Reds full post-game press conference when it gets going. So I think a lot of the concerns that we had about some of the newcomers, like Jaquan Carlos, he's not that big. You can see at points tonight how that's going to be an issue at times this year. Eddie Lampkin, not exactly an athletic marvel. He's a big guy. He's skilled, but yeah, you can see how that's going to be an issue at times this year. Again, Q Sports Talk only. Phone lines are open, 315-437-7644. Give a ring throughout. We'll hang out till, 10-ish or so. We'll get Red's full post-game press conference when it gets going. We'll get that here live. But, it was... Yeah, that happened. That all just happened. That was not a compelling... Pardon me. Long day of the radio here, people. For a game that ended up like high scoring in theory and close late, that was not for the most part, that was not like an interesting basketball game to watch. It was I get it's the season opener, but that was a very... I don't know. It was just kind of discombobulated, a little bit sluggish. It was okay. This is all happening. First half was just like all right. That happened. Disjointed, lots of foul calls. Very long game. I mean, that game took like 2 hours and 20-ish minutes or so. It was very, very long game. Yeah, so that was that. Red, generally, what we learned last year, we learned a lot of things about Red last year. He was generally quick to the post-game podium, so I imagine he'll be out here sooner than later. And again, we'll bring that to you in full as soon as Red starts talking tonight, so you're in the right place for that. Yes, Jared Egan on the YouTube. It is still football season, so we do have that going for us. Jason, the defense was not good. And Syracuse really struggled on defense for the most part all of last year. And save for Bell, like Bell made on the last play of the game, like you could see what Moyne was doing. They're like, we're running. Oh, do we have Red? We got Red. Red's coming. Mike just gave me the
credit to them now. They played really well. I thought we showed some heart. We showed some toughness. We didn't shoot the ball well. 4 for 22 from 3. We missed 11 free throws. We missed shots that we normally make, around the basket. So, we didn't play our best game. And I just thought our guys showed a lot of heart. I thought Jair, he came in and stepped up big for us. I thought JJ made some big plays down the stretch. Eddie, came in and gave us a little lift. And those are hard games for those type of guys when you play against these smaller teams and they're big, so mobile, they can shoot threes. So, that was a challenge. We knew that was going to be a challenge. Again, I thought we had, a tough stretch where we wasn't making stuff, but defensively we were okay. And then after a while, when you stop making shots and you missing stuff, your defense kind of falters, and then again kind of went up and down, got going up and down, and we outlasted them. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do. That's no secret. I've been saying that for a while, and again, it's not an excuse, but we just got work to do. We got to get better defensively. We actually rebounded the ball pretty well. We had 20 offensive rebounds, so we rebounded the ball well. But overall, our offense wasn't good enough. It wasn't efficient. We had very few people in a plus column this game. So, any questions?
Coach, you look at the fact that Moyne is in year 2 in that transition to Division I. You made mention of how they played this game. Just go a little bit deeper with one-day champions doing in that program.
Well, the one that gets them to compete, they play hard. They get after it. They got a style of play. They made their shots. They made nine threes. And again, when you look at the numbers, and for us, we know that they shot, I think, 40 threes in a exhibition. So we knew they were going to shoot threes, and we wanted to keep them in that 20 range. They shot 25. So again, this kind of, weird a little bit, because when you look at the numbers, 20 offensive rebounds, stuff like that, you would think, we would have won by a lot more, but we just couldn't make anything. But Nate's done a good job. They defend, they have an identity, they play tough, they play together. They got guys that can shoot, 4 or 5 guys that can shoot, and 2 guys got hurt. So again, he's just done a good job with that program.
You told me last exhibition game you need to find ways to get JJ the basketball. You put it in his hands. That lasts 30 seconds or so. Can you walk us through that decision?
JJ's a guy that we need for him to step up. He's a big part of what we do. I thought towards the end I wanted to get the ball in his hand and let him try to get to the basket. I knew they struggled a little bit keeping him in front, and he made a tremendous finish. I thought that was a foul too, but we don't call fouls in practice, so maybe that helped. But I thought it was great concentration, tough finish. But JJ's someone that he's a big part of what we do. We have to get him to play well, and again, his numbers wasn't bad. He missed a couple of threes that he made, but a couple of, I think he missed a dunk. So again, we had an off night offensively.
What was the difference in Chris Bell offensively from first half to second half?
I thought he just started playing. I thought he got lost in the game. That was a big defensive play that he made at the end of the game. I think, when they went to zone, we found him. He got some easier shots, and I thought he got himself going. But I thought defensively he was really good today. He made a big, play at the end. And I just think he just kind of stopped trying to, think about the game and just play the game.
You mentioned Jair. How important was it for him to come in and do what he did after he got those 2 fouls?
Well, if he didn't come in and do what we do, we'd have lost the game. And we still almost lost the game. I thought he was huge. He made tough baskets. He scored. He rebounded. When, and again, he was big for us. Without Jair Davis, we don't win this game. It's simple. And again, we got work to do, but I'll always, take a win and get better than a loss, and feel terrible.
What was your message ahead of time and through the timeouts in the second half?
I just thought, again, I thought we were a little tight. I thought, a lot of our guys, it's their first time playing here, our transfer, Eddie, Jaquan, like they just, I think, they made the game a little bit bigger than what it needed to be, instead of just playing, so I thought that was, so I was just really trying to tell those guys to relax, calm down. Let's keep trying to defend, get some rebounds and, finish the plays and get up the court and take our shots, really just trying to, keep giving them some confidence. Again, you could tell they were pressing. Again, we missed so many easy shots around the basket. So again, me just trying to keep their heads up and their confidence up and, trying to, get them to defend.
Coach, 20 offensive rebounds with 12 second chance points. Do you think it was just missing shots inside, or was there a consistent bad read you noticed after your players got the offensive rebound?
I just thought we missed shots. We missed shots. We get a rebound. Eddie has a layup. He passes to Chris along the baseline, run out of bounds again. I just thought we were pressing. I thought we just missed shots. We got the rebounds. We just didn't finish the plays. We didn't finish today at all.
Coach, you mentioned your team was tight. Does the team get tighter down the stretch against the team that they're expected to beat by a lot? Do you get tighter when you're that close against them?
No, I thought I actually thought as the game went on, we kind of settled in a little bit. We were in a battle. We knew we were in a battle, and we made the plays that we needed to make, down the end. So again, as a coach, you can take different things from it, however you want to spin it. Again, I was proud the way we, in the battle, we finished the game. Again, could we have, played better? We would love to play better, but you're not always going to play good. That's just the reality. It doesn't matter who you playing against. Again, and Moyne did a great job. They came in here and they battled.
We expect this rivalry right here.
Yeah, again, I thought it was a great game. Again, hopefully we can play better next time. But I thought, I think it's a great game. I thought the crowd was good for the first opening night. Lemoyne, I thought it was really good.
Coach, Donnie seemed to be one of those players that was playing uptight, at least early on. But he still finished with the double-double. What did you make of his result?
I miss you. Who are you talking about?
Donnie Freeman.
Donnie, I thought he played well. He's a freshman. I thought he played well. Again, he gave us a burst of energy. He made some shots. He finished. He couldn't finish around the rim as like we needed him to do. But again, I thought Donnie played well. He had 11 rebounds. He got to the glass. Again, he's a freshman, man. He's going to keep getting better. And playing against this team, this was a good team. This is a good first game for him. So again, I'm excited where he's going. He's just got to keep playing and keep getting better.
Coach, sometimes from beyond the arc, just 48 shots. Is there a kind of strategy towards the end of the game to move away from those shots getting arc?
Yeah, when you're not making them, again, we shot 32 the last game. Today we shot 22. I thought they were all, pretty good shots. I think they were all good shots. We just didn't make them, but we knew we had a size advantage. We knew that they were going to give us some looks for certain players. So we made a conscious effort. And I thought when they went zone, that really helped us out too, being able to get the ball inside and then getting some clean looks. I think Chris only hit 2, but I think 2 big ones.
Coach, after tonight's result, do you want to focus more on the paint or outside the perimeter, where you shot 18.2% from three-point range?
We're going to focus on everything. We got a long way to go. We got to get better offensively, defensively, and continue to, progress, rebounding. I thought, again, the rebounding today was a little bit better. Again, I think we just a work in progress still. This is, we got a lot of work to do. Thank God we got, 5 or 6 days before we get ready for the next game.
Moyne threw at you a bunch of different defensive sets, whether it was man, zone coverage, the 2-3, and the 1-3-1. How are you making adjustments mid-game to counteract what they were throwing at you?
I thought the first half we struggled to get in to attack the zone. I thought the second half we came out, we attacked the zone a lot better. I thought we could have did that the first half. We just didn't do it. So I just thought we calmed down. We got the ball to the right places. And we attacked from there. We got the ball to the right places, the right people, and we did pretty well with the zone.
What does the next week of practice look like for Chance Western? Do you expect him back next game?
I expect him to be, dressed. I don't know. We got to see where he's at as far as conditioning and things like that. But the next week, practice. We know what we got to do. This team is, they understand what we need to do. They know we need to get better, and if they don't know we need to get better, today was a good example of if you don't come out and play and be ready, you can lose.
Moyne was able to dribble, penetrate, pretty well at times today, but couldn't always find the cup. Do you think that's just him missing shots, or do you think there's something he could have done better on his drives or how to set himself up?
I mean, I thought Jaquan, he missed, probably a couple of shots that he normally makes, the little pull-ups and stuff like that he didn't make. But I thought Jaquan was great. The thing about Jaquan, man, he defends. He once he got in foul trouble, that hurt us too. He couldn't be as aggressive and heat the ball up like he normally can. That's a big point of emphasis for us, for him, is, heating the ball up and making it tough, but again, Jaquan's value is not always in scoring. He has 6 assists, he had 4 rebounds, he made some free throws at the end, that we needed.
Back to one more. Adrian, what do you make of your sort of inability to guard that ball at this point?
You know what? I think I'm not sure if it's the inability to guard, as far as sometimes the concentration, keeping people in front. And I think, to be honest with you, I think it's really more about, people think it's just one guy. It's a team thing. And our gaps are not good right now. That's the reality. Our gaps are not good. I mean, again, we knew they wanted to shoot threes. Again, it was kind of like when we played Virginia Tech last year, right? Like, when you play certain teams, you know they want to shoot threes, so you want to make it a 2-point game. Now, imagine if they got more threes off, we don't win the game. Again, we still made it a 2-point game, and it allowed us to get back into the game. But our gaps have to be a little bit better. But, again, certain games, certain strategies are different. This game right here, we wanted to make them a 2-point team and try to limit them from the three. All right, thank you, guys.
All right, there he is, Red Autrey, first regular season post-game press conference of year 2. So we're hanging out on Cuse Sports Talk today. No radio. We got Monday Night Football on the radio, so you can still call 315-437-7644 for ESPN 44. Well, and other than that, we'll just chop it up in the chat. We got you on YouTube, got you on the Twitch. To Red's point about clearly this jumped off to him. And I noticed this as well. Syracuse had 20 offensive rebounds today. 20. That's good. They turned that into 12 second chance points. That's not good. That's not good. Especially, Syracuse definitely had the size advantage. Certainly when Freeman was in there. Mastorovich was getting offensive rebounds in the first half. Lampkin to some extent, though. Lampkin only had 3 rebounds. Jair Davis, for sure. Jair Davis was outstanding today. To Red's point, without Jair Davis, they lose today's game. Without Jair Davis, they lose today's game, and it may not be particularly close. Without what he brought, you might have lost this game by 10 to 15 points. Jair was excellent tonight, but it does not change, and this is nothing against Jair Davis. He was great tonight. Can he do that as a 6-7 power player against the ACC? That I don't know. But he did it tonight, and the Orange needed every little bit of it tonight. Every little bit of it tonight. Free throws, to Zach's point there, were a struggle. Syracuse, what was the final number on the free throws? Syracuse was 20 of 31 on the free throws, so 64%. Not great. Not great. Jaquan Carlos missed a big one there down the stretch when he was an 89% free throw shooter last year. But, Jake, to your point in the YouTube chat, the defense, the defense has a long way to go. Chris Bell made a fantastic defensive play there on the last play of the game. And that is probably the realistic end to the positive conversation about the defense tonight. I mean, he made a great play. He got his way through the screen, intercepted the pass, end of the game. But defense wasn't great. And Jair Davis, not a tall individual, but man, he's tough. He's got that I've been in college a long time old man strength in there. I like Jair. He's like a guy like that. You talk about the portal. What are you going to get out of the portal? Are you going to be able to get stars? Are you going to be able to get older guys from lesser schools trying to play up? He's a good guy to have on a team. He's a good guy to have on a team. Does Syracuse have enough? I don't know. Do we got a call coming in here? The phone is ringing. Phone lines are open at 315-437-7644. We'll take some calls here Next game is Colgate next Tuesday. And we know how the Colgate games have gone recently. So, yeah, Colgate doesn't have hardly any of those same players left anymore. Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. And again, you got a full week. It was the opener. Caveats. But we can spend the next week being reasonably concerned about the Colgate game coming up. More likely than not. Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see about that. And, Armosaurus, it's too early for the cardiac Cuse. Yeah, it is a little early for that, yes? Little early for that. Odds we go back to the zone. Low. I'm sure they'll mix it in some, but yeah, he's not like Red has been rather clear on that on that point. Red has been rather clear on that point. Yeah, Danny Angelo. The refs called it rather tight tonight. All right, let's get our first call in. We know the first call is going to be. We got a guy Pat in the Cuse. Pat, what's going on?
I mean, the way I'm looking at it, it's a work in progress. Unfortunately. You look at last year's team and guys like Cuse are complaining about Judah, but I mean, when you had Taylor give us nothing all year and Benny, I mean, we didn't have that much scoring punch. You know, you had your Copeland games. Bell was one-dimensional and was a great shooter. So you know, the weight of the world, we had no inside game. We had no center. You know, so Judah, it was a bad mix. I think if you put Judah on this team, it might be interesting because, you know, I mean, Jair Davis, the more I watch him, he reminds me of what you would hope Paul Harris would have figured out. I mean, he's got a similar build, still got an ugly jump shot like Harris, but he's just got way better body control, and he has way better basketball feel. Unfortunately, Paul didn't have that. So, but in terms of this roster, from where I am right now, I thought Freeman was going to be a little bit better. I just think he's not strong enough in his lower body. He's longer and he's springy, but he's not wiry. He's not wiry like even Warwick was as a freshman. So I think Freeman's going to give us less than what we need. I think Lampkin's going to give us less than what we need because I still don't see him playing defense that matters. And he's not like Arenze couldn't get rebounds all the time, but he was carving out space. And the other guys were going and getting it. I don't see that yet on this team. And if it doesn't start happening, we're going to get crushed. But I think we have a lot of nice pieces, and it's nice to see that, you know, we were told for 10 years that every team plays 6-7 guys. No matter what other teams in the top 25 box score showed us, we were told for 10 years that every team's playing 6 guys when it was really only 2 teams, and one of them was Villanova, who happened to have a good run. But the point is, it's a work in progress. JJ's shot sometimes looks like it should look this year, and then sometimes it still looks like last year's shot in November. So I think that's a work in progress. But the difference in this game to where it wasn't comfortable was simply this. We missed 13 layups and 11 free throws. You play anybody good and you're done. I mean, you're done. You just can't miss those many layups. Uncontested for most of them. I mean, the layups were just bad. They were just bad misses. But I'm not worried. It's one game. I like what I was actually surprised that Pator didn't get it a little bit in the second half. And the ref's fourth call on Carlos, you could see them huddle after that fourth foul, which was a stupid call because you should not give a starting point guard the fourth foul on no contact. And immediately after that, you could see those 2 illegal screens called in a row after not calling one the whole game. So those are your makeup calls. And people say, oh, there's no such thing as makeup calls. You want to even up the game. If you can get something that you would normally pass on, you're going to get it. So that's kind of what I saw. But the officiating wasn't that bad. I just thought that fourth call, and there was one on Bell where the ref said he bumped him, and he blocked the shot first. Anything after that is really fair game unless he gets clobbered. Nobody else is calling that. So, but you're always going to have those. No, but I mean, Brian, what did you think of Lucas Taylor? I thought he was going to show us something. His jumper looks atrocious. His defense is clueless. Maybe it's the name Taylor. Maybe Taylor is a curse name, and maybe Donnie Freeman needs to make sure his hair is shorter than Benny Williams. What do you think?
Well, Taylor, I was shocked. He played. What did he play? Where'd the box score go? Hang on, I've lost it. Hang on, Pat. Where did I put it? Taylor played. He played 12 minutes. I'm like, he was on the court that much. Like he just didn't pop at all in this game. I thought he was on the court like 5 minutes. I didn't realize he played that much.
Right.
And Freeman, yeah, you know what? It's one of those things where like they're not mellow, but like you can see the skills. You can see the skills, but he's a freshman, right? Like I think he's a good player, but to think that he's going to be like the dude every game all year, like clearly that's not the case. But heck, he had a terrible shooting night and still put up a double-double. So I think he got something to work with there. I'm intrigued. Like, there's something where maybe in a month you're like, all right, he's got a sense of it. But I think and that's probably the biggest key to this season right now, Pat, realistically, because there's a guy, whether it's this year, next year, wherever, there's a guy we know has a legitimate big-time ceiling. Like, if he can access that at any time this season, I think that's realistically the best chance Syracuse has. They're getting better here.
Last point I got is when you have a team where one of four guys could be the best player on the team and none of those are Carlos, who's probably the most important, I think you got a problem because some might say it's JJ, some might say it's Bell, some people might hope it's the guy making the most, Lampkin, and some might think it's Freeman because he's got the highest resume, the 5-star top 15. So out of those four, two of them have to play like to a all conference level or we're going nowhere because, I get enamored with, who's the sixth guy, who's the seventh guy, who's the eighth guy and so on. But it really comes down to your core four. And I mean, Carlos is going to play a ton, so I'm not worried about him. And his defense is good. So Brian, thanks for the time. Maybe our boy Tusi will call and defend himself, but I think those days are over.
Thank you, Pat. I'm sure we'll talk again soon. There's our guy. Pat, yeah, Carlos is a good man defender, that's for sure. He just certainly doesn't have the size. I will say this, like, who's the go-to guy in that? Well, certainly not answered yet, but final minute of the game, what did we see? JJ put his head down, got to the basket, and finished. That was a huge play of the game. And Chris Bell, go figure. I'm as stunned as all of you. But, we talked about last year's team. There was dysfunction on last year's team. I think a lot of people wanted to put some of that on Bell. I think Bell maybe was just guilty by association of some of that. I think we saw a lot more effort on certain things tonight from Bell than we've grown used to in his first couple of years. And he made the defensive play that ended up sealing the game. So, again, very small sample size moments in a game that was, very nerve-wracking. But at least a few moments like that where you can see, okay, maybe here, maybe there. But, still a long way to go. All right, let's go back to the phones. Phones are available, 315-437-7644. We got our guy Steve in North Syracuse. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, a lot of things to point to in this game. One thing with the defensive problems, I'm just not sure that we've got centers that can play man-for-man defense. I think we might be better reverting to the zone for these guys because they don't have to move as much. They don't have to cover as much space. It's interesting that Freeman is now our backup center because you didn't see McLeod at all tonight. He actually looked pretty good at times there, and it looks like he's got center size, not just forward size. But I'm just not sure that man-for-man is the best defense for this team. Maybe it would be tough to switch now, but it's going to be tough there. And having, Daquan is an interesting player, but he's not a very big player. I think at one point Eric Devendorf said his size is going to be a factor all season, and he mentioned they're going at his chest, meaning they view him as a weakness despite his quickness. And just like any other sport, you got to be strong up the middle, and we're not very strong up the middle defensively. I do love the two-man game between Lampkin and Davis. They had that stretch where first Lampkin fed Davis for layup, and then Davis fed Lampkin. I think we may see a lot of that when those two guys are in there. And Davis just had a fabulous game. It's clearly not his game to be jacking up three-pointers like he was. Taylor, thus far in 3 games, is 5 for 20 and 1 for 8 from three-point range. And if he's not going to hit his shot, there's no point in his being out there. Bell was a guy that I thought might kind of explode into a full-fledged star this year, and it looks like it might be happening, and that'll help us a lot. And Starling will be a solid player for us, but I'm just concerned about this strength up the middle that we have, especially on defense.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think, man, this is a lot to ask for a freshman, right, Steve? But you look at Lampkin. Lampkin is not a defensive presence. I mentioned that when they got him out of the portal. He had what? I'm trying to remember the number. I think it was 7 blocked shots last year or something. It was something minute. It's a lot to ask for a freshman, right? What can Donnie be at that end? Because he does. I mean, he's got to be 6'11", and he's a big dude. And he's clearly athletic. He had the one that got wiped off on the foul on JJ. The one block he jumped. Who the hell knows how high? But if he can add a little bit of that, then you have something. And yeah, it is funny. After all these years, you have centers that maybe make sense in the zone after all this time.
Well, hopefully they'll continue to get better. They got to be a lot better against Colgate, otherwise they're gonna have another embarrassment there. But it's a long season, and the good thing about basketball is that you get to start slow and build up, whereas football, every game matters tremendously from the beginning. So we can get by this if the team will continue to improve.
Yeah, that's a fact, Steve. Thank you as always for the call. There's our guy, Steve, in North Syracuse. If you'd like to chime in here, we'll hang out for a little bit longer on this Monday night after the opener. 315-437-7644. Hey, we're just on the radio, or we're just on the internet, people. We're just hanging out. We're just having a nice little hang. What's going on in the YouTube chat? Let's take a little look at the YouTube chat. Let's see what's going on. Over here, yeah. Odds we go back to the zone. I'm sure they'll play a little bit of zone this year, but Red could not have been more direct in what he said when he got the job, and he's followed it through. That he wants to play man, and he has said that. Is Chance hurt? T. Murphy. He is returning from some sort of illness. Is the word on the street? Is Naheem hurt? He is not hurt. Maryland Syracuse fan, but he's still working his way back from the offseason surgery. And realistically, in tonight's game, I don't know what Naheem's going to give you. Tonight's game, the bigs for Moyne are going out to the perimeter. Naheem's not doing that. So I don't know if he would be the right guy for the job tonight. You needed Davis in there. To Steve's point, those 2 nice plays, what Eddie Lampkin is, what Eddie Lampkin's seemingly best characteristic is, those passes, he threw some really nice passes today. He has a good sense of that stuff. But, yeah, the Lampkin thing, I get there's talk, maybe he's back, I don't know, but he was clearly bigger than Moyne guys, and he did not dominate them with power. That's for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. Ian Jackson didn't like the refs. There's, I don't know. I don't think the reffing was. There's a couple calls people were on. They called it tight. They called a lot of fouls. I don't know. I didn't really have an issue with the refs for the most part tonight, and I'm all for having issues with the refs. 315-437-7644. What do we want to talk about here on the chat tonight? What do we got? Yeah, if Lampkin's back, because he didn't look overly mobile. I mean, him being overly mobile is not exactly his game to begin with. But yeah, your options there are I kind of like Mastorovich there in the first half. He was doing some stuff. The ball wasn't dropping, but you can tell he's got some sense to him. But are you going to play him at set? Who are you playing? Jair Davis was the guy that got those minutes in the second half. That was clearly the right choice today. Though I'm intrigued by Mastorovich. I'm intrigued. at least at some point. He seems to have a sense about him of, how to play the game. He was clearly playing hard like that. To, I think, both Steve and Pat's point about Lucas Taylor, trying to figure about, all right, who's going to play? What's the rotation? Who's going to have roles? This team really could use, and Chapamore only played 2 minutes tonight. This team really could use one of them being a shooting weapon off the bench this year. They could really use one of them being a shooting weapon off the bench. Both would be great. But realistically, if either or of Moore or Taylor can become a consistent shooting weapon off the bench, that would be very significant. Very significant. Because, they did not. They did not shoot it well tonight. I get it. Can Jair Davis technically make a three? Great, sure. That's not his thing. I don't want to see Davis shooting threes. I don't want to see Lampkin shooting threes. Chris Bell, I'll say what's encouraging about Bell. He had 20 points. He only made 2 threes. It's odd. He only had 2 threes. I actually kind of like to see that. I like to see that. Because it tells us he's finally doing different things. And then, will Chance Westry ever exist? I don't know. What's going on with him? I don't know. Why did Peter and Davis not play together in the second half? I'd say you're getting... That's the thing. You do that, you're really small, San Diego Cuse. And it looked like when... Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Masterovich in there? Mastorovich? Is that what we're going with? Mastorovich. Was he ever in there in the first half at center? Because if you're playing it with Davis, he would be the center. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to fit those puzzle pieces together. Against Lemoyne, it's a little different. I mean, who's really playing a center these days? But, yeah, free throws weren't good. Bell driving to the hoop, I thought that was landmark. That was landmark. Because what he was doing, what Bell did today on those little dribbles, that was not I'm taking an advantage of Lemoyne thing. That looked legitimate. He put the ball on the deck 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, pull up. It was decisive. Last year, whenever he did it, it was has he dribbled before? This year, it was okay. All right, Chris. Minnesota Dan watched J.J., Bell, Davis, Freeman, and the Euro fella. Yeah, that's possible, San Diego Cuse. I think Mastorovich has a sense about him. Yeah, we're fighting it a little bit, Armosaurus. It's the talking. It's the talking that gets you. Which is interesting, considering that's very specifically what we're doing here is the talking. Checking out YouTube here. Yeah, Dill11. Carlos, he's not really a shooter. He didn't really look for a shot. True, there was a couple times I thought he could have shot a pull-up and opted to pass. I do wonder if that's going to become an issue at points this year, because at some point of defenses, you just back off. You back off. You can go under pick and rolls. I'll be very intrigued to see how that goes. Yeah, we don't want Mike coming in here and talking. That would just, We don't need that. Mike's talking. Mike's talking is no good right now. Yeah, Mastorovich did not play in the second half. Cavendo, I think that's all because of Davis. Davis was great. You couldn't take Davis off the court. That was a very good announcer jinx by Matt. It was so perfectly timed, the jinx. You could not have had a better timed out from moment he said it to the free throw missed, jinxy moment. And then immediate acknowledgement of the jinx, it was that's as good as you get with the announcer jinx. There is no such thing as an announcer jinx, but we like that you think there is. We have all the power. What else? What else we got here in the chat? What else do we want to talk about this game? What else do we want to talk about this game? Dan, here's what's so interesting, with the Lampkin thing. We've known for years now they've needed a center. And Lampkin was the guy they got. I like Jair Davis is clearly a basketball player. Like, I like Jair Davis, the basketball player, but he's 6'7" on a tall day. I just wonder how this is all going to fit together in ACC play. And we can't rule out, like, Lampkin, I didn't watch a ton of it, but Lampkin was the starting center on an NCAA tournament team last year. So, yeah. If Taylor Chapa's in, who's sitting? I mean, Patty, like, off the bench. Like, you need one of those guys to be a rotation guy off the bench that when he's coming in is actually an offensive threat. Like, when Carlos or Starling is out, I need one of those guys to be in the game that can actually, like, be a threat. Ryan Mullen needs Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown. Yeah. Who is that? Oh, I'm not saying you're taking him out like down the stretch. I'm saying, all right, Carlos needs a break. Toss him in. Starling needs a break. Toss him in. Like, it's the rotation. Like, but when they're in, they need to be useful. Like, that's which one is going to be in those, whatever it is, 10, 15 minutes a game total. Which one of them is going to be able to go on the court and, hit the 1, 2, 3s a game that you need to just keep it moving. So it's not landing all on everyone. Yeah, you need. Yeah, JJ, yeah, exactly. Like, Carlos is going to play. JJ is going to play. Like, this is not taking their minutes. But I was just saying all right, who's the third guard? And of those two guys, if you're the third guard, you're going to make shots. Or does Chance Westry exist? If Chance Westry comes back, and now say he's the third guard, not that Chance is a shooter, but what is he bringing? Because, man, we were all so excited about Chance in the offseason, and now, yeah. Like, what are we don't know. We don't know. The Javion Hilson guy is large. Can he play hoops? Minnesota Dan is out on Lampkin. Totally out on Lampkin. Yeah, like Kyle Cuff. I like Kyle Cuff. He seems like a nice guy. He tries real hard, but he's not an elite shooter. He's an elite athlete for his size. Yeah, is Chance Westry Bigfoot? Is he the Sasquatch? Is he the abominable snowman? Has Chance Westry been seen with the Loch Ness Monster? When you have, like, the little scratchy voice, you can make these sounds interesting. Has anyone ever spoken with Chance Westry? Has Chance Westry ever been in the same room as the Syracuse basketball team? I don't know. Like, all the people that say Chance Westry is a phenomenal player, I believe them. I would love to see him play. I feel bad for the kid. Like, knee injuries, whatever his health issue is right now, I don't know. I feel bad for him. I hope he gets better. I hope he gets out there. That's one of those things, like, yeah, to Al's point, like, all right, so let's say, I don't know what the deal is health-wise. It's all been very vague on Chance. So say he gets back in practicing later this week. Say he gets back in the court in a couple weeks. We're just spitballing here. All right, say he starts really actually, playing, being useful by mid-December. Like, you think back to guys that have, like, sort of, quote-unquote, appeared mid-season. Billy Edelin's the easiest one to think of. That was a little different because it wasn't like Edelin was out for anything that was actually holding back his play. But it certainly really added to that year's team. Yeah, so hopefully Westry, I mean, for all the accounts, like, he was going to be a very, very significant part of last year's team and this year's team. But to use the oft-used quote, what's the best ability? Availability. Yeah, maybe you can redshirt again, Armor Source. There you go. Ian Jackson says he thinks we'll see Chance back in 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one of these things. Like, we just went through a long injury thing with Marlo X on the football team, but that was different. He was hurt and had a timeline. And all right. Yeah, the Lampkin thing, I've been, not Dan level here. I've been somewhat skeptical on Lampkin from the beginning just because he seems like a fine player, but it's not like he was a dominant player, and he's not like an athletic freak or anything. But yeah, like Syracuse needs a center. That's the one they got. So they need him to do something this year. Yeah, Jerry won today. Congrats to Jerry. Overtime. Benny Williams got a ranked win. I think he only scored like 2 points. Justin Taylor won. I think he scored 2 points. Quadir Copeland lost and did not start for McNeese State. That was like, whoa. Didn't like his playing time here, huh? Peter Carey fouled out for Siena. I don't know if that's how those contracts work, Dan. What else am I forgetting from Dior Johnson was in that game for UCF? They have 2 D. Johnsons on that UCF team. A different D. Johnson scored like 24 points. Dior didn't. It's a lot of work keeping track of all these guys. There's so many of them. Malik Brown, Malik started tonight for Duke, I think. What did Malik do? Duke is up on Maine by 22. What's Malik up to? Malik has 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal in 16 minutes. That's very Malik Brownie. Man, is Mikey Williams on that team? Did he actually end up there? That's a good question. I have many tabs open with stats. Can I find the right tab? Where did I put it? Here it is. Mikey Williams did not play. Yeah. Free Quadir. Yeah, I don't know, Carmody. I feel bad for that. They were telling the story of that during the show. He's got 3 surgeries and 3 degrees. Yeah, I don't know what he did to the shoulder there, but it was all wrapped up. You just wonder if his body ain't going to make it anymore. I feel bad for him, but he seems to be well set up for life. He's got a Notre Dame degree and Notre Dame business degree. I don't know what the 3rd degree is, but he's well learned. Well learned. What else we got? If you dismiss that, who are you going to get, Dan? Frank Anselm. Yeah, Frank ended up in Louisville. That's so many steps removed. Where's Big Willie Bill Patterson? Where's he at? Where'd Billy Patterson go? Yeah, that's the thing. Like Armosaurus, when we go back to last year and say, yeah, this, that, and like 2 years ago, yeah, it wasn't enough. Like those guys, that wasn't going to work under anybody. That collection. Yeah, JG3 still out there somewhere. Where is he? Is he in like Latvia or something? Where did he go? Oh, man. JG3's at Notre Dame now. That'd be a fitting end to it all. All right, what else do we got? What else do we got, people, before we wrap it up? Maybe we got another couple minutes here. Good hanging with you all on a Monday. We'll be back here for, I'll remind you this tomorrow. So it's 10:15 right now on a Monday night. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. All you, I see all of you here right now, and I see you on the YouTube as well. So here's what we're doing tomorrow at 11 a.m. We're coming back here for the Kyle McCord Show. You're going to get in the chat and you're going to ask him questions, and then I will relay the questions, and we'll have a good time. And his chips are right back there. Go Kyle. So we're doing that tomorrow at 11. Yes, Pat, Jordan is fine, though he has put in his 2 weeks. His 2 weeks, he's leaving the business because they've gotten rid of the media spread, and he's beside himself. But yes, no, he's not doing that. He had a sausage and peppers and an iced coffee from the concession stand today with his media spread voucher. I'm sure he will discuss it thoroughly tomorrow. But Jordan is fine, Pat. Though, the media spread review, it may, because is he really going to go do a concession stands review every? That's not the spirit of the media spread review. I don't know. Yeah, so there's all that. Oh, that can't be contagious anymore, Arbosaurus. Just won't go away because of all the talking. It's the nonstop talking. Which means I should probably stop talking. Yes, they got rid of the media spread because Jordan bashed the third same breakfast of the year this past Saturday. That's the scuttlebutt up on the hill. That's the scuttlebutt. They're like, this guy poo-pooing our bacon, or our lack of bacon, because we ran out of bacon before he got here. No more spread for this guy. No more spread for this guy. Oh, man. Yeah, Jordan's fine. We're all fine. We're just trying to... That was a weird game, man. I don't know. I don't know what that game was. You used to... I have provided you with lozenges, Mike. I have provided you with lozenges. What do you got, Dan? What's your idea? Give us a big idea before we go. Excite me with your idea. We're waiting. You got 500 large for the top JUCO center in January? Okay. That's an idea. Yeah, the media spread was actually not canceled. They just fooled Jordan. They just fooled Jordan. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see how that idea goes. Barry, what time? Barry, what? Isn't it like 3 a.m? Yeah. The media spread at the football game on Saturday ran out of bacon before Jordan got there. What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night in London. This is wild. All right. We're talking about bacon and nonsense right now. I think we've run our course here. It's only 20 past 3. All right. Wait, you're gonna be up for Gomez before too long. Oh man. All right, guys. I think we've handled our business here today. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, QB1, Kyle McCord will be here. At noon, Orange Nation. 2, Newhouse Afternoon. 3, Cody Mack. 4 o'clock, me. There it is. Thanks for hanging in. The Orange won. 1-0. See you tomorrow.